Once upon a time, there was a couple who wanted to experience the happiness of having a child. The woman starts to remember how happy she was as a little girl and the bright look of joy on her mother's face as the two spent time together. Oh, those were happy times! I wish I could experience the happiness that my mother and I felt again.
My dear, why are you looking so sad?
I want to feel the joy my mother felt while raising me, the way she felt when she had me, a child.
Well, I think that's rather a splendid idea. I would also like to have a little child to play little games with.
The woman and her husband patiently waited each day for 3 years, losing more and more hope each day. Oh, my dear, I'm afraid that we cannot have any children. We waited so long and still nothing.
We have to remain patient, darling, for our little gift will arrive soon.
What if I visit the witch today, and maybe she could help me?
Well, what do we have here?
Good day, miss. I've come here because I'm in need of help.
Well, missy, what would I get in return? Well, what do you want?
I would like a child of my own. The witch handed the woman a small seed.
Put this in the soil, and a beautiful flower will grow. Once it's fully grown, you are to give the flower a kiss. Then the petals will unravel, holding a small child cradled in the center.
Oh, thank you! I'm so happy! At once, I will have a child of my own! The woman left with a large smile across her face, holding the seed in the palm of her hand. When the woman reached her home, she planted the seed in a bowl full of soil. Some months later, a beautiful pink tulip had grown. The woman went up to the flower with hope in her heart and gave the tulip a light kiss. Seconds later, the petals unraveled with a tiny little girl in the center. The woman and her husband were overjoyed. Oh my, she's very tiny.
Well, a peculiar but lovely little child.
We shall call you Thumbalina. The woman created a bed for Thumbalina out of half a walnut shell and strung the rigid borders of the shell with rose petals and small leaves. She made Thumbelina a mattress out of a piece of cloth stuffed with cotton, a cotton ball for a pillow, and a corner of a handkerchief for a blanket. The family was happy together and enjoying a joyful life. But when Thumbelina had turned 10 years of age, she had no idea what was coming for her. One night, when Thumbelina fell asleep, an ugly toad king snuck into her house and then found Thumbelina's little lair. He caught a glimpse of Thumbelina fast asleep in her bedroom, as her door was not fully closed. The ugly toad king was fascinated to see such a beautiful little girl, the size of a small dog.
My, what a sight! My son, the Toad Prince, will marry this girl as soon as the light of dawn reaches the sky.
The toad entered Thumbelina's room and carefully took Thumbelina out of her bed and onto his back. sneaking back out of the house to his swamp. The next morning, Thumbelina found herself on a bed of twigs and tucked into a leaf. She was on a lily pad, surrounded by murky water and chittering sounds. Thumbelina was frightened. There were hundreds of thoughts going through her head, and then she began to panic. Her thoughts were interrupted by a deep, raspy voice, very abruptly.
Well, the princess has finally woken from her slumber.
Princess? Well, you've got the wrong girl. I'm no princess. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my parents. I don't really know how I got here.
No. Wait a second, please. I don't think you understand, little girl. You will be marrying my son, the Toad Prince, and then you shall be the princess of our kingdom.
Oh no! I've been kidnapped to forcefully marry this ugly, evil king's son!
After Thumbelina had seen that the king was out of sight, she called out to the forest animals.
Hello? Can anybody hear me? Please, I'm in desperate need of help. Please help me.
Some nearby fish had heard Thumbelina's constant pleas for help and swam over to her little lily pad.
Well, what have we got here? Oh, hello there, little girl.
What seems to be the problem?
I need help to get out of this forest. I've been kidnapped by an evil Toad King.
Oh dear, we must help this girl.
Indeed.
The fish gnawed at the stem of the lily pad and sent it into the rip current.
Oh, thank you for all your help. You've been very kind to me.
No problem at all. And good luck. Good luck with your future endeavors, little one.
Make sure to stay safe. After what seemed like days, Thumbelina had reached a cornfield where the sun was shining bright onto the crops. She found her way through the maze of the corn crops and found a little pit where there was a door. Thumbelina knocked on the door, and a field rat answered.
Why, hello there. I'm in need of some help.
What is a little girl like you doing wandering in a cornfield like this?
I was kidnapped by an evil king, and now I'm trying to find my way back home.
Well, if you would like to stay with me, you are to tell me a very interesting story every day.
Well, all right. Strange deal, but I accept it. Well, I know I don't live near a cornfield.
My dear, people live on the other side of this town. We are at least 20 miles away from any civilization. Nobody lives on the farm.
Oh my! Well, I must try to navigate my way back home.
In that case, you will need to move fast and fast and fast. Winter is arriving soon. The field rat and Thumbelina stayed together for 2 months, and then winter had arrived. Well, my dear, you may continue to stay here as long as you lead, but not with me. You will stay with my friend an underground mole in his cave, where you will be marrying him the day after. Thumbelina immediately knew that she had to find a way out of the cornfield. In the midst of her deciding on how to get out, the field rat whisked her away to the mole's underground cave. While the mole was showing her his cave, Thumbelina saw a hurt sparrow bird and briskly walked over to it without the mole and the field rat noticing. She promised the bird she would help it heal. So at night, Thumbelina took her blanket and wet it with some water. She then snuck out of her room to go to the bird and put the bandage on its wing. The next morning, Thumbelina visited the sparrow to see if her bandage was any help towards it.
Hello there, dear sparrow. Are you feeling better this morning?
Why, yes. I feel much better. What can I ever do to repay you back?
Oh, please get me out of this cave and take me back home.
Of course, of course. You saved me from my suffering.
Thumbelina had finally made it home after 4 months of being lost, and thanked the sparrow for all its help. Thumbelina reunited with her family, and they lived happily ever after. The end.